I am grateful for a lot this year, including the chance to introduce you to my next couple of guests. They are stars, they are leaders in the Woman On community. We have here Cherise Goode. She's a D&I leader. She's a community builder in tech. And we are so lucky, I am so lucky, because she is a leader in the Woman On Collective. Hi, Cherise. Hello, hello.
Hi, Maxie. I'm super excited about this.
Us too, because you, girl, you know a thing or two about moderating hard conversations. You're very good at balancing tough topics and tough topics with strong personalities. I have seen you do it in real time so many times, and it is always astounding. Here's the deal. Some of us, we are about to step into a minefield, potentially many of them as we go into the holidays. So we wanted to talk with you about a few different scenarios, what to do when we're going to face some of these things in the coming weeks and how to work through them. So let's start here, Cherise. What do you do? What do you do when you know that you're invited to an event or maybe a gathering that you don't feel comfortable going to because, hi, coronavirus?
I think in your response to anyone that's asking you to do something, you just have to tell them whether or not it's in or out of your boundary zone.
Yeah.
And if you can give more context there and say, it's not that I don't want to go to your wedding, I do. But when my life right now is consisting of a monthly grocery stop and a maybe once a week, once a month, 6 feet apart, mask on in the park outside, sunshine and wind, hangout, going to a gathering that's more than 10 people just isn't something I feel comfortable with.
So
And so,
be transparent, and you're basically telling me not to lie to people and tell them I sort of don't feel good.
yeah, I think that when you're holding things back, it leaves a lot of room for stories to be made up along the way on the receiving end. So if you're telling someone that, sorry, can't make it, getting all cagey, they're going to hear what they want to hear. And that might be that you just don't want to arrive at their thing.
Mm-hmm.
But giving them the full take of, hey, I'm setting this line. And if there's an option, giving them an alternative, saying, I can't come to your Thanksgiving dinner, but I could hang out and catch up with a bottle of wine, distance at a park. They know it's not about them, it's just about the environment.
Yeah.
And then when you make that decision, when you create that playbook, deciding that that's okay and not feeling bad about the boundaries that you've set.
It's a no, and I love that. Be transparent and give other options. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's pretend we're a yes because our boundaries and things align and we end up in some comfortable COVID situations, even if it's just a Zoom Thanksgiving. And the topic, like navigating potentially different political views, or who did you vote for when you already know that that's a minefield, or maybe you don't, and then you step into one. How do you suggest navigating when those conversations come up?
So my advice would, instead of calling people out, try to call people in. Maybe you try to find, like, put on that empathy hat and say, where do we think that this person is coming from? If you already know the answer to your question, skip it and go to the next question of, hey, there's this topic that I have been learning a lot about. Can I share things that I've learned? If they come right back at you and share, oh, no, that's wrong. I don't believe that. That's a hoax. That's a conspiracy. Or that's just not true, according to my news sources, I would kind of step in with whatever the response is and just ask them, where did you learn that? Yeah. And it turns the conversation outside of a who's right, who's wrong, and more into a let's peel back the layers of where we came to these understandings in the first place. And from there, you can start to build off of it.
Whether you're the one that ends up starting the conversation or the question gets posed to you, just practicing empathy and curiosity can go so far. So actually, I want to take that a step further and, say it's not political. Say someone asks the inevitable life stage question, like, who are you dating? When are you guys getting married? Are you having a kid? Are you having another kid? Are you ever going to leave that job? Like, so many times you and I both know it actually does come from a place of love, but it does not feel like love in the moment.
Yeah.
Can you shut that one down?
Yes and no. So, first question is, it really depends on your family and understanding why your family is asking that question. My guess would be 9 times out of 10, your family members asking that question just because they want to hear about your life. And to
Yeah.
them, these are topics that are really accessible and relatable to them. They're questions that they had to answer. They're questions that maybe they've gone through those steps and they want to share their experiences with you. So it's more so a safety net. But if you know ahead of time that these are questions that make you uncomfortable, that these are questions you do not want to dive into, it's so valuable to know that boundary ahead, because what you can do is acknowledge the fact that your family members just want to hear about your life and offer them something else. So if a family member is asking me about when are you getting married, when are you having kids, and it's just something I'm not interested in, my answer would be, I'm not really interested in diving into that conversation right now, but I have been working on this project. Can I show it
Mhm.
to you? Or I do have this really cool thing going on at work and I'd like to tell you about it. Would you be interested? I bet that they would say yes, because they're just trying to tap into something that you can share with them. And
Yeah.
so be ready with your pick and choose of like, what topic can you bring that would fill the energy of that room in a way that you have control over it?
Totally. It's giving them the emotional connection that that question
Yeah.
was trying to serve. It's such a brilliant point. And on that note, I think you've given a really good way to change the direction of that conversation. Is there anything that you use in your own sticky conversations and family situations that break the ice and can like totally change the energy of a room around when stuff gets weird, which it gets weird for all of us?
Yeah. So I'm known for poking the fire a little bit.
Good.
As we're here because I like to have hard conversations. So my partner likes to remind me when it's time to change the subject. I get that nudge saying, this isn't, we don't need to keep going. We can revisit this at another time. So I would say that in these moments, this is the time for weighted questions. It's the time to say, what are you most looking forward to when things reopen? That's something everyone can relate to and everyone's thinking about. It can be really tempting to click into the negativity that we've experienced this year, but it's not really productive, and it like brings everyone down, makes people mad, frustrated. Then we're like coming into politics again. So having some sort of weighted questions like, what are you most hopeful for in this next year? What are you looking forward to travel to next? What are you looking forward to doing when like the stores reopen? Which one do you want to go to? And having some things in your back pocket about, what have you been thinking about? What are you dreaming about? And as cheesy as it may sound, it brings this positivity to the room in a way where everyone has been thinking about it. So it's relatable, and it's weighted in the sense that no one can answer with something negative when you're asking them what they're looking forward to. So that's
100%.
something that I've been keeping in my back
Yeah,
pocket.
it's so smart, Sharissa, and I love that you acknowledge that you're also the one. You've learned this the hard way, potentially. Let's just say that. Thank you so much for all of this advice. I know that I will personally be taking this into my own life, not just here in the holidays, but beyond. So we'll see you soon in the Woman on Collective.
Mackie,
Sharissa, love ya.
thanks, Maxie.